friends. A few weeks ago I put out a video assessing why so many people were complaining and struggling with Apex Legends Season 6. You can click the icon, the little eye icon at the top right of your video if you want to go back and watch that. If you haven't seen it already, you can watch it for the first time, and it'll give you some context of what I'm talking about today. So I thought, as Respawn have put out a really decent update / patch, I thought it's worth us having another chat and talking about whether this patch has actually saved Apex Legends Season 6, and what else could they do to make it even better. So these are just my thoughts based on observations of what I've seen in the feedback so far, but you can definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So, two main things I've found were the common complaints at the start of Season 6, and that I covered in my previous video. And at a high level they were the energy weapon meta, in particular the devotion, and the armor changes, meaning shorter time to kill. However, on Thursday, as you know, Respawn released a pretty significant patch, and it's probably the first time we've had a patch so significant outside of an LTM or a new season or a season split. And that's really interesting. It means Respawn really are listening to us and what we actually want to see. They are making those adjustments. In this patch, essentially what they did was they fixed the Evo Armor, and by fix I mean they just reset the values back to pre-season 6. However, everything all remains Evo Armor, so you can only pick up Evo Armor. So essentially all Evo Armor that you level up or pick up off the ground will be at the value that it was previously to pre-season 6. So basically white will have 2 bars, blue will have 3 bars, purple will have 4 bars, and red will have 5 bars. And each of those bars represent 25 HP, which is basically what it was before Season 6 came. So does this make a difference? Personally, I didn't mind the meta at the start of Season 6. It took me some time to adjust to it, but I kind of got used to it towards sort of the second week of playing Season 6. However, I would definitely say I did prefer the previous meta for the armor, because let's face it, 25 extra HP really does make a difference, and it certainly suited my playing style, but it really does feel like Apex again. Before, at the start of Season 6, I just couldn't get past 2k damage. Because everyone had less armor, you just didn't do as much damage, and the battles were a lot quicker, especially with the energy weapon meta. You just couldn't do much damage, or at least I couldn't. However, since the armor revert on Thursday, I've now managed to get past 2k multiple times, at least 3 or 4 times, if not more. So it's definitely become a lot easier, and it definitely suits my gameplay style a lot more. Let's talk about, have these changes saved Apex Legends Season 6? Well, in my view, yes. As I said, personally, I would have still played Apex even with the start of Season 6, those changes that we had, but in reality, I wasn't having as much fun as I did before. But since we've had the armor reverted back to how it used to be, I'm having a lot more fun playing Apex, and I'm really enjoying it again. So in that sense, yes, it saved Season 6. Also, I kind of feel like a lot of players left Apex Legends because of the Season 6 changes, and I kind of noticed that in the queue times, particularly for ranked. As you get higher in ranked, I found the queue times were definitely a lot longer as we got into Season 6. However, since these changes have come, I found the queue times actually a lot shorter than they were at the sort of second week of Season 6, and I feel that's because people have come back because of these changes. They left because they didn't like the changes, and you could see that in the volume of complaints that there were on social media. But now that we've had the revert and we're back to the original armor pre-Season 6, it definitely feels like more people have come back into Apex and there's a better pool of players. So just for these two metrics, these two indicators, I think it does feel like Apex Legends Season 6 has been saved, and Respawn have done really well to do that. Is everything solved? Well, there are still a few things I can think of, at least in my head, that could or should still be looked at. The second point I made in my previous video was about the energy weapon meta. This armor revert does help with a lot of this, because that 25 extra HP really does help deal with the overpowered energy weapons, so you don't get melted quite as quickly by devotion or revolt now. However, the energy weapons are still very strong, and a devotion with the extended mag and even a turbocharger can still melt you pretty quickly. So I feel there could be a few changes to the energy weapon meta, and that really would help a lot. For example, they could reduce the fire rate of the devotion and maybe nerf the damage the Vault does. Again, I don't think you'd want to reduce the fire rate of the Vault, because that takes out the kind of point of what the Vault is, but if you reduce the damage and make it closer to kind of what the R99 is, I feel that might balance it out a little bit more. Also, I don't like the red Evo armor. I mean, obviously it's great if you have it, but if you're facing a team of 3, a full squad that all have red Evo armor, it just feels a little bit too much. It kind of feels unnecessary. I always felt purple and gold were strong enough already. I understand why red Evo armor was introduced, because Evo Armor was in the mix with standard armor, and they needed to give you an incentive to pick up Evo Armor. However, now that all armor is Evo Armor, I mean we only have Evo shields in the game, I feel like it makes sense to take out the red armor, because purple and gold are definitely strong enough as they are. The final point I would make about something that maybe needs to be fixed or improved is the audio. I always felt Apex Legends had fairly good audio, and you need to have good audio in Battle Royales. And by audio I mean the sound of footsteps in particular, but also the gun sounds, the surrounding sounds that you have that allow you to tell and position based on that. For some reason in Season 6, it seems like the audio just got worse randomly. It seems like there are situations where you just don't hear footsteps and people can sneak up on you. These little audio fixes I think would make a huge difference to Apex Legends. Pre-Season 6 I felt they were moving in the right direction for how the audio was working, but in Season 6 something's changed and it just doesn't feel like it's working. In reality, I think the biggest change that needed to happen was the armor in Season 6, and now that they've done that, I feel like these other fixes are important, but again, if they were to come in Season 7, I wouldn't really mind too much. I think now that we've got the armor back to where it should be, I feel comfortable with how Apex is. It feels like Apex Legends again. I'm having fun playing it, and I see a lot of people on social media are also saying they're really enjoying Apex Legends again. So I think overall, to summarise, has Respawn saved Apex Legends Season 6 with this patch? I think the answer is simply yes. Apex Legends feels like Apex Legends again. And all I can say is, thank you Respawn, thank you for listening, thank you for making the game great again. Anyway, these were just my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed our chat. I've enjoyed having a talk with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.